What is music? Is it a guitar and some friends singing together? Is music a choir? A bunch of people singing together, singing the same song with beautiful harmonies? Could music be tree frogs on an island in the Caribbean? Or maybe music is the sound of a boat going through the water, hearing the waves crash up against the boat. Or maybe music is my friend Sam practicing his guitar in his home. Maybe it's water glasses. Maybe it's my noisy old dog, Bella. Can toys make music? Can we find music in rain? Does a waterfall make music? Can we find music in the mountains? How about tools that do construction? Is that music? Is there music in outer space? Or how about at the beach? Can we find music in the waves? What about in a music room? Can we find music there?
Be a candle of hope, be a candle of light, a beacon of truth in a dark, hopeless night. She's a light without flame, in God's nothing grow. The moonlight be
Sometimes music is written down on paper and uses music notes. And sometimes people learn to read those and make beautiful music. Some people like to make music with instruments. This is a piano. I have one in my home right here. And I can play songs that you might know. And I don't have any music in front of me that I'm reading, no notes, but I know how the sounds go and I can use my ears to play it. How about this one? That's Row, Row, Row Your Boat. So this is a piano and it makes music too. I also have a guitar here for you to see. It's a long stringed instrument. And when you pluck on the strings, they make music too. And if you look at the strings, we talked about a word, I wonder if you remember, it's the word vibrate. We talked about it when we talked about our voice. But when you latch the string, can you see it buzz and vibrate? All the those sound waves that are coming from those vibrations are traveling inside the guitar and bouncing around everywhere, and they come out for our ears to enjoy. Maybe someday you'll play the guitar. Look at this one. It almost looks like a baby guitar, but it actually has its own special name, and it's called a ukulele. And ukuleles are kind of like guitars because they're stringed instruments, and they make music in the same way. And you can see the strings vibrate there too. See that buzz? Ukulele. This beautiful instrument belonged to my grandpa. It's called a banjo. Banjos come with different strings. This one has 4. Sometimes they have 5. And this part right here sounds like a drum. You can hear the strings vibrate when I do that. But when you play, it has a totally different sound than the guitar and the ukulele, but they all have strings that vibrate. All of these instruments make music. You know, when I was little, I didn't have anything fancy to play. I didn't have a piano in my house and a guitar or a ukulele or a banjo, but what I did have were sticks. These are actually chopsticks. And I had lots of cans and different containers or pots and pans that I'd like to experiment and hear the sounds of. So if I were to just play these here on this piece of wood, it sounds different than here, or here, or here. We say the word timbre. Can you say that word, timbre? Timbre is sound. These all have a different sound. They all have a different timbre. Listen. And you could make a drum set just with these. Makes fun music. You could actually put on a song and play along. Maybe you have a song that you like of some music, and you could play that, and then you could bang along and keep the beat. Maybe you can add some rhythm to it. Go ahead and see if there's anything around your house that you could use to make music. Maybe your family doesn't want you banging on things. I don't know. I'm just a noisy person. But I have my hands, and I don't have anything fancy. All I'm going to do is bang on my desk. Maybe you just want to make a bunch of noise. But you know what else is fun? Is if you put on a piece of music that you like, and you listen to the music, and you can maybe make some music that goes along. Here's a song I like. When I was a little girl, my favorite book to check out of the library was called The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And it was by an author named Eric Carle. And Eric Carle wrote beautiful stories through pictures. A person that draws pictures or makes pictures for a book is called an illustrator. That's a really big word. Can you say that word for me? Illustrator. So the author is the person that writes, and then the illustrator is the person that draws. And in this case, he does both. Look at his drawings. The Very Hungry Caterpillar looks very much like these kind of drawings. Sometimes when you're an artist and you draw, your work looks exactly the same, or it has things about it that are seen in all of your different drawings. It's the same with people that make music. When they make music, the sounds that are in some songs are in other songs, and you can kind of say, I wonder if that's the same person that wrote that song, because it sounds very familiar. This book starts out saying, I see a song, I paint music, I hear color. Does red make a sound to you? Does red sound like music? I don't know. I touch the rainbow and the deep spring in the ground. My music talks, my colors dance. Come, listen, and let your imagination see your own song. Look at this. There's no music that we can hear, or can we? When you see these kind of splashes of color like this, can you think of any music in your head? Or maybe these circles make a certain kind of sound to you. I don't know. Maybe the orange sounds like, or maybe the green sounds like, I don't know. We'll have to experiment with that and see if colors make sound. Look here. We have the moon and the sun and the ground. When you look out at the moon, does the moon make music? If you were to write music to sound like the moon, what would it sound like? What does the color blue sound like to you? Or maybe when you hear music, you see the color blue. There are special people that do that. What does the sun sound like? If you were going to make music that sounded like the sun, we have the sun, and the moon has now become a boat, hasn't it? It's a smooth sound. This is more of a circle kind of sound. And this is the water, and it's kind of choppy. What does the music for choppy water sound like? I don't know. Do fish make music? I don't know. Can they hear music? That I don't know either. I don't know if they hear it underwater. But we can hear choppy sounds maybe, and maybe we can hear the sounds of the creatures under the water. Do they make music? Does the color blue make music for you? Or do you hear or see blue when you hear music? Maybe you're like Eric Carle, the person that wrote this book. I see a person. I don't know. What sounds, what music do you hear? I don't know what you see in this picture. Maybe you see some roots underground, or maybe this is a teardrop. Is music sad? Can sad music be sad? I don't know. We'll have to think about that. Sometimes it can be, I guess. Maybe sometimes it's happy. Look at all the colors. Do the colors bring about sounds in your mind? Do you see a song here? Can you imagine a song that happens from these colors and these shapes and these designs? What about in the flowers? Look at that burst. Maybe music sounds like that sometimes, like it's bursting or growing. I might be able to hear a sound with that picture. I might be able to hear music. Look at that. It's almost like fire is coming out of these beautiful, beautiful tips of the plants here, right? What would that sound like? Do you hear a song? Do you hear music? in your imagination, in your mind? What about these? These little, maybe these are short and choppy sounds. Maybe you can hear music that's short and choppy. Maybe you hear violin music. And when you're all done, you take a bow. I like that book. I like to use my imagination. I love colors. And I love that colors can make us think of music. Or music can make us think of colors. Either way. Hope you like that book. And I hope you have a really good week this weekend. Maybe you could make some music in your home and share it with your family. Or maybe you can make some music together. Or maybe you can go outside and find music outside like I did. In the water at the beach, in the mountains. I don't know. Maybe there's some birds singing in your yard. Go out and explore. I hope you're doing well. Bye-bye.